Can everyone see me? Two comments already. This won't be just Looney Tunes physical media releases. Kind of will. Kind of will at the moment. Now, just so you know, Manny's running a little bit late, so I will go solo for a few moments. So let's have a look. I guess he's just busy feeding his dog. That's probably what it is. But yeah, I mean, how about that new Tom and Jerry set? Has everyone actually ordered their set in? Because here's the thing with that Tom and Jerry set, right? So I ordered it um, at that point where there was probably a lot of cancellations, so I was able to put mine in. And because the funny thing about Amazon in Australia is that a lot of the stuff from Warner Archive do not actually go on the Australian platform until later. After it's actually released. So once the Tom and Jerry one was released, it then showed up as out of stock. Okay. But then I tried again and there happened to be some in stock. So I quickly pushed the button and look, I don't think I'll get it by Christmas. There's not a chance I'll get it by Christmas, but hopefully I'll end up getting it, not too far, well, not too far past Christmas in any case, but I'm going to be very busy. Where I work gets very busy around the holiday season, the Christmas time. For those of you that don't know, so in Australia, of course, it's summer now, although today it's actually a bit cooler and rainy, which is what I prefer. We have school goes out for about 6 weeks or so. So I know you guys in the US have your summer break in the middle of the year, which still seems weird to me. But in Australia, school finishes about the third week of December, and then the last week of January, first week of February is when they actually go back to school. So, yeah, we got a few people on here, 11 people. And for the first time, I'm actually streaming this concurrently on TikTok. I just thought I'd give that a go. I honestly don't know how that's going to go. I'm not really too familiar with that platform, so well, we'll see how that goes, right? But yeah, we're going to go through once Manny jumps on board the physical media collections, all that stuff. So yeah, going to have a good time with that. But if you have any questions for me, just in general, about either the channel, any animation related questions, or even just general movie questions. I don't just watch animation. I mean, look behind me. I know it's a little bit out. I'm actually sorting everything out still. I'm just a really busy person. If you have any questions about what other movies I like, because not everything needs to be animated, I guess. Let's see, Camden. It's that strange cartoon reviewer guy. Well, yeah, I guess that's about right. What's my reaction on the new Netflix and Warner Brothers news? So it's interesting. I'm not anti-streaming. I definitely prefer physical media. I prefer to actually, quote unquote, own my content. I don't like the idea that that a streaming service can at any time just remove stuff that I would like to watch more often. I like to have my own library, but Netflix has got a lot of good stuff. I wouldn't have a problem if this new deal with Netflix and Warner Brothers ends up being that, okay, where it's all still separated, kind of like what Disney have done with 20th Century Fox, which I know 20th Century Fox is a shell of its former self, really. They're now 20th Century Studios, I think that's what they're called now, but they're still their own thing. They're doing their own stuff. So if Netflix did it that way, I wouldn't have so much of a problem. A lot of people are lamenting that this might be the death of cinema, but honestly, cinema needs to change. admittedly, look, I don't mind the cinema experience as long as you got people in the actual audience that behave themselves. Unfortunately, the last few times I've gone, there's always been those idiots on their phones. Like they'll check the messages every so often. So you got this big blast of white light. And it's really soured me off the experience to the point where I don't really feel like going to the cinema anymore. You know, I don't know, but a lot of people are lamenting that it might be lost. Once Netflix takes over, because they're going to be like, oh yeah, we've got all these IPs now. We're going to make all of these um, movies and such. We may not even show them in the cinema, or if we do, it won't be for very long. Honestly, guys, I mean, I know a lot of you are not going to like this, but the way things are trending, I do see a lot of cinemas or theaters. I know we call them cinemas. You know, you guys can, I'm sure you guys know what I mean. A lot of them will shut down, and there'll be only the premium stuff left over, like IMAX or the big experience stuff. And the streaming services will introduce what they did back in COVID. So I don't know if you guys remembered, but I remember Disney Plus at one point for a few of their movies, like the live action Mulan, which was terrible, but the live action Mulan, you had to pay extra if you wanted to watch it. So I I foresee that happening. They're gonna put that through, because these movies and TV shows that are made for Netflix, they're not cheap. They're very expensive, and there's gonna come a point where they need to sort of rein in costs a bit or gain more revenue. And one way they'll likely do that is have the option where, hey, here's this new movie. Yes, there'll be a cinema option, but if you pay $30 or I don't know whatever the cost may be, you can watch it at home. That is what I think things are leading to. With this deal, it's too early to say, honestly. The whole Netflix Warner Brothers deal. Um, I, I find it disappointing, actually. There was this whole documentary about the history of Warner Brothers not long ago by Leslie Iwerks, granddaughter of Ub Iwerks, actually, who animated the original Mickey Mouse, funnily enough. And you got the current CEO, David Zaslav. He's talking about the history, being proud of it, and then they showed the whole history of the studio, but they're just selling it off. It's like, oh well, we'll just get rid of it now. It's like, why? Like, if anything, there needs to be more competition, less consolidation. So yeah, I have very complicated feelings on it. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. We'll wait for the further things come through. It may not even pass. There might be a situation where they might go, "Nah, this might violate some certain laws or whatever." But we'll see how we go with that. Favorite Frank Tashlin cartoon? Well, yeah, it's like asking what's my favorite child, because honestly, he's done so many fantastic shorts. I adore Frank Tash's work. Even his lesser stuff. I did Porky's Spring Planting, which wasn't the greatest, but even that has some interesting stuff in it. So at least when you watch a Frank Tashlin short, you're going to find some really interesting things in it. So Frank Tashlin, honestly, like Porky Pig's Feet might be my favorite. Brother Brad. I actually grew up with that short a fair amount as a kid. So yeah, I don't know. Like I say Porky Pig's Feet today. Another day, I may say something else. So there's that. Hey, it's Mr. Matt Hunter. One of, for those that don't know, he's one of the regular collaborators on the channel, and he's got the Tom and Jerry set. He's got the Tom and Jerry set yesterday. It's fantastic. Yeah, look, again, I'm looking forward to it. That was on my number one buy list. It's just that with shipping to Australia, I do try my best to pay as less as possible. And the best way for me to do that is utilizing Amazon Prime, where I get free international shipping as long as I buy through the Australian store. So it's on its way. It's getting here. Someone's already shared with me all 11 new restorations, and they're fantastic. The quality's great. Yeah, I am aware that there are some issues with it, but that really is that's nitpicking. So there is that. At least we've now got all of them on physical media, so they can focus on other things now. Since HBO Max removed the classic Looney Tunes shorts, I've been using Tubi. Yeah, lucky you, because in the US that's what it is. In Australia, it's not on Tubi. Um, and honestly, I'd rather just with that. I have physical media for Looney Tunes, but I also rip them into files and put them on my Plex server, so I can watch them anytime. If I feel like watching a Frank Tashlin one, if I feel like watching a Chuck Jones one, whatever, I can actually narrow it down. So I don't think there's a randomizer button. That would be pretty interesting if they do that. Have you seen the Looney Tunes series from fellow YouTube reviewer, the Hit Critic? Everyone refers to him in the comments, and admittedly, I've not seen those videos. And that's nothing. No, it's not a personal thing. It's just I'm very busy person, very busy. So I'm maybe one day I'll check it out and see what his stuff's all about. For what I have seen, based on the comments I've already read, um, uh, his opinions sometimes sharply contrast to mine, which is okay. So I'll be very curious to see. Main concern is that Netflix might axe Warner Archive releases or interfere with deals like this one. As far as I'm aware, Warner Archive is safe; it's a separate thing. So we'll see how we go. I mean, honestly, you might see Looney Tunes on Netflix. So I guess that's one positive. So yeah. Um, let's see. Exactly. Straight to streaming films are high budget and high quality than straight to home media films from way back when. Yeah. I come from a time where a lot of the direct to TV stuff was just so low budgeted. You can see that there's, uh, there's sometimes there's effort put in, but because there's no budget, it still ends up looking terrible anyway. But it'll happen. That's what I'm betting on. There will come a point where, because some of these films cost 150 $200 million, which, by the way, most of that budget doesn't even go on the film itself. Most of it is because producer A gets 20 million, actor A gets 10 million, and so on. And honestly, 80% of your budget just goes towards paying that. Oh, we have a visitor. There he is.
Hey, you only see half of my face. That's good.
Yeah, it's like his face. No, oh no, to put it back, put it back. I want the half face.
I look better. I look better. I can't talk. Hi, everyone. I ran a little late. I had a rehearsal for a concert that I'm doing on Sunday, and the rehearsal was longer than I thought. Wait, I just realized I'm using the wrong mic. Hold on. Let me fix that. I'm a mess. Hi. What else is new? Let's see. Yeah, got my
Hey,
handy.
you can do the Homer things like, "Hey, this is Homer S coming from Radio Land."
Message out to all the beautiful
Oh,
ladies.
jeez.
There
Ooh,
you go.
loud.
Oh, sorry. Let me lower it. How is this better?
Yes, it's very, very sexy. Very,
Or the
yeah.
one that I can't do it. The one that Dan Castellaneta does
Mm,
when he's talking to Ruth Powers in particular. I like that and just the way that
and his
little
face.
quick was it digression, but something that me and my brother always get a kick out of, like when they scream in the show and their tongue is like like
Flapping.
completely yeah, like the flapping tongue is like there's no way possible for anybody to scream.
I thought that's how you sang, Manny, when you were doing your gigs.
Oh, of course.
Ah!
Can't give away all my
uh,
secrets.
well, that's right. I'll just go through some of these comments, and then we can dive right into the whole. As you say, meat and potatoes. I love when you say that in the track. So it just it makes
Let's jump into the meat and potato. I actually I forgot to tell you that. But speaking of meat and potatoes, I have chicken and
meat and
potatoes. I mean,
potatoes.
I know it's not the best thing, but I still haven't even eaten yet. I didn't even know they had this. They have a, Grinch meal at what do you guys call it? Macca's? Macca's?
Macca's. McDonald's. Actually,
Macca's.
we have that too. Yeah, it's there.
Had
It's
no idea until because it was again. I have I'm doing 5 things this weekend. I'm doing several masses, which I usually do every weekend. and then two concerts, and I was running late, and it's a half hour away from my house, and there's McDonald's on the way there. It's like I know I shouldn't, but let me grab some real quick. I was like, oh, the Grinch, and oh wait, I haven't even opened it yet because it come man, I gotta shave my head. I look like a mess. Of course, I'm using my camera phone, so it looks super clear. I got a pair of where the heck is it? Socks. So you had no idea that your live stream would turn into a was it like an unbox or unwrap? What is it? Wrapping? Unboxing?
Unboxing, unwrapping, pro Grinching. I don't.
You're getting everything today.
Oh,
Today, I became
today,
Aussie for today. What's tonight? Because it's 7:15 at night here in Jersey. So
Joyzy.
machine wash cold. Okay, I'll do that later. But let's see what's in my socks. What up?
Ooh.
This
See,
live
see,
stream.
we should have saved it for the Christmas stream. I think.
Oh, you want me to wait?
No, we're gonna do it now.
It's the holiday season, so you might as well
Dies.
jump into
Yeah,
it.
before you jumped on, I was explaining to everyone just how interesting. Like, it's so different. It's summer here, and we get the 6 weeks. The kids get the 6 weeks off. I mean, not us working slops. No, no, no.
Yeah, God forbid it. We were off. No, I was actually thinking about that today because it is below freezing now here in New Jersey, and I hate the winter. I hate. I'm not a cold weather person, even though I've lived in cold weather my whole life. But it is what. Oh, all right, it is what it is. So my socks are. Oh, you got what was it Max and Cindy Lou Who and the McDonald's logo, of course. And it says the Grinch was here. So there you go. Got my new pair of socks, and yeah,
There
I
we
will wear
are.
these every single day until the holidays are over. And well, no, of course I won't do that.
Never wash them. You never wash them. You'd be like
and
Bart's hand. I'm never gonna wash his hand, and it's just got that stuff. But yeah.
and speaking of the Grinch and physical media, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it today. Stupid pop filters has a mind of its own. I don't have the Grinch on physical media. I
Oh,
need
I
to fix
do.
that.
Yeah, I got the 4K of the Chuck Jones classic, and it's so weird. It's even got the 4K editions of the other two specials, and which pale in comparison. But I mean, they're not bad. But yeah, the,
Which ones are those? Are those the Patty Freeling
yeah,
ones?
yeah. One's the haunted house one, and the other one is where you got the Grinch meets the Cat in the Hat. So. Although the music in that second one, the Cat in the Hat one, was written by one of the songwriters from Sesame Street, so there is that.
Ah, a little
Yeah,
continuity from our last live stream.
well,
As I was telling Anthony, um, if you jumped on this is I'm not going to use stupid pop filter. The heck with it. I need to buy a better one. Um, so I can't go crazy with my consonants. So the first live stream we did, I call that the pilot. So I guess this would be our first episode.
yes, indeed, and I want
Alrighty.
and of course, it's going to be something that we're going to build upon, see what works, what doesn't work. I want to make this into a regular thing. We'll do another one before Christmas, talking about Halloween stuff. You know, just just
Of
just
course.
just just to be contrary to everything. No, we'll talk about Easter stuff on the Christmas stream, just to mess with everyone.
And
Be
Valentine's Day and and the 4th of July in the middle of January or something like that.
Yeah, we'll just mess up with everyone, so that way, yeah, we'll do that. I'll just quickly go through some of these. Matt, our good friend, Mr. Hunter. I'd go to the movies more often if they put better movies out there. Too many remakes of superhero flicks. Yeah, there is some interesting stuff, like that Leo DiCaprio movie that came out. I actually missed out on seeing it. I'm a huge Anderson fan, the director. He made Boogie Nights and those films. And that's coming on 4K, by the way. I can't wait to watch that. Um, so there's that. So I'm just looking at some of these. Question for that Tom and Jerry set: is it the Hanna-Barbera or Chuck Jones ones? It's all the Hanna-Barbera ones, aka the good ones. I have a soft spot for the Chuck Jones ones in terms of how they look, but yeah, even Jones himself was like, yeah, no. Will the Looney Tunes critic ever be on the channel for a commentary? You're talking about Trevor, I'm assuming. Maybe, yeah. We'll see how we go. It begins. I like the one of the comments. It's the Kabani. It
It
begins.
begins.
It begins.
Hiya, Homer. Hiya,
Hey,
Iggy.
Homer. Hi, Ma. Like something.
They I just saw this yesterday. So this room that I'm in, this is my music slash nerd room. So I got like my music books, all my little knickknacks of animation stuff, my recording equipment. Got my right here. I can't see it, but I'm gesturing towards it. I have like a laser disc player, a VHS. Remember those days, kids? Sorry, not kids, us old farts. But speaking of Barney, oh no, yeah, of course I have action figures. But somebody took the Barney figure from Jack Pacific. I've been collecting those figures lately, and I haven't found Barney yet, but they took it and they painted it to look exactly like Barney from when he did the from the film festival when he's laying on the bed with the rose in his hand. And I was like, when I saw that first, I was like, wait, they made a toy of that? I want to buy that, but no, it was somebody who like painted and whatnot because they made some really cool ones. They got like I have like Vampire Burns. They're doing King Homer. I actually have a big. You know what? I Why don't I just do it
Yeah,
this way? I don't know if you
yeah,
can see it, but
yeah. I
oh,
got
those are
one.
my Sonic figures.
Well, I got it up
Oh,
here.
you have it right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my brother gave me those Sonic figures. Thank you to my big brother. Oh, physical media. Oh, woo. Okay. I'm a terrible cameraman. Fire him. But yeah, actually, you can see my Looney Tunes collection along with my Ghostbuster one and some other stuff. But yeah, so I'll do it. But I need to get like a tripod or something because I have like this small stand I bought off of Amazon. So
This is guerrilla filmmaking.
and I look like a gorilla. So there. You
Or,
might
or
say I'm for sale. No, I'm not. Miguel
well,
Gorilla for sale.
well, you could be like a Homer in the episode where he gets hair. Like what one of the
Oh, why did you
things
say
is go.
that?
No. It's like that's like it says no. I'll tell you. It's the gorilla. It's like gorilla hair growth or something. It was like this stupid. Goes that's what I remembered anyway. All right, so let's get into, as you say, the meat and potatoes.
Oh, as for that phrase, I want to shout out my band teacher. I highly doubt he's watching it, but my high school band teacher, Wayne Dillon. That's a guy who used to say that all the time. He says, "All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the music." So, if you want to blame somebody, blame him. So, Mr. Dillon, thanks for teaching me a lot about music and for awesome American phrases that I sent to Australia. So much appreciated.
There you are. We got number one.
Ta-da!
Ooh. All right, so just a little bit of context for people, okay? Because I see a lot of comments on Facebook, and this is ridiculous. It's like people expect to be spoon-fed content here, you know? Oh, they never show Looney Tunes anymore. Oh, I can't see these anymore. Or the worst one, these are banned. No, they're not banned. All right, just do go outside, touch grass, okay?
The
But
cartoons that they don't want you to see. Looney
yeah,
Tunes.
I should rename
Exposed.
it. I should rename every single one of my reviews like that. You know, Bob the Rabbit of Seville, the short they didn't want you to see because scissors. I don't know something. I don't know.
The Hunters trilogy, when they were allowed to use weapons in cartoons before. Never mind. I'm just going to get into a whole rant. I mean, great cartoons, obviously, but you know.
Uh, exactly. You know what's up, Doc? Why you cannot listen to opera anymore, or something like. Oh, Matt says my high school biology teacher said meat and potatoes too. We were not disappointed when we got to the male reproductive system. Think Beavis and Butthead laughter. Yeah, I'm Cornelio. You know.
Oh,
um,
I actually saw something like that yesterday. With the whole like, I don't know. Do you in Australia? Do your kids or like kids of their age do the whole stupid 6'7" meme?
I
Six
think
seven.
oh,
That whole shtick.
they know of it, but my kids are no, not
Okay,
like that.
because I'm thinking of that and what Matt said, and they were like, back in our day, we didn't have stupid memes, and it was a clip of "I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for my bunk." Just like imitate, like we used to imitate that back in the day. So yeah,
Oh,
we were dumb too, us
exactly.
millennials.
That's why it's so funny when people are like, "Oh, my stuff was better back in the day." And then those same people don't even must have forgotten that they would have been told the same thing by their elders, saying, "Well, back in our day, radio shows was so much, that kind of that kind of thing." Um, But for those who are interested in actually owning Looney Tunes, because here's the thing. You're better off owning them. And there's a few reasons for that. I mean, yeah, look, I know in the US they're on Tubi, and yes, I know they're on MeTV. They're great options. I'm not anti-Tubi, anti-MeTV here. But this is if you want to take what I call the next step when it comes to, no, it's not about marriage, Manny. When you want to take the next step.
Your wife now?
No. Hey, maybe she's watching. I don't know. But
Hi,
this
Kathy.
But this is the next step, really, because you can watch these at any time. Okay, so you don't have to rely on MeTV's programming. But on Tubi, you got the different options. You can pick which one you want to watch. But then you'll notice that there's quite a few that are also missing, and a lot of the time it's due to just they got some material in there. Could be one unfortunate scene, but the rest is perfectly fine, and I totally get why they're not on there.
You
So.
might say to be or not to be.
Ooh. That is going to be on every intro video of this podcast from now on. To be or not to be.
Well, I was actually waiting for you to be like, and I disappeared from the live stream. All right, Manny, thanks for joining us.
What?
The
You're
king of
cutting out. You're
terrible.
cutting out. You're cutting out. Yeah.
Wait, Mayday, Mayday. I said French fries. Actually, coincidentally, I have French fries right there. So yeah, if you see me like looking this way, it's I'm not paying attention. I mean, no, I'm actually like I'm gonna be shoving food in my mouth, but I'm hearing them. So again,
Yeah.
this podcast or this live stream brought to you by McDonald's. So
Wow, that would be really awesome if that could happen.
please pay off my debt for the love of God, please.
Exactly. So get those super chat coming. Because
Super or stupid. I think you said stupid chat. No. You're not stupid, folks. We love you all.
yes. So the first thing to get, and this is actually dirt cheap because you actually got a few options. I just happen to have the first releases of these, but they've repackaged them in certain ways. But generally speaking, Looney Tunes Golden Collection is your first bet. So, starting off, these are a series that they released from early 2000s up until about the end of, I think, 2008, 2009, something like that. And each of them are 4-disc sets. So I'll open this one. I'm not going to open each and every one. I'll just show it to you. But essentially, every single one has 4 discs in them, and they usually would have a theme. So disc 1 and this one has the best of Bugs Bunny, disc 2 is Daffy Duck, and so on. And when these started off, they used the existing masters that they had at the time, and they put them on disc, and they still look pretty decent. Certain things have improved over the years, but the other reason you'd want these sets as well, and I'll show you a few as I'm talking. So this is volume 2, which has weird looking Bugs Bunny in the front. I've always thought that was weird, but it's nice. It's got the hole in it like that. But the special features on these are definitely something that you'd want this collection for, because all of these have audio commentaries. Less so on the last one because the budgets were being cut back, but you get to hear a lot of the historians, some of which who were alive at the time and no longer with us, like June Foray and Bill Melendez. So here's volume 3, which this is hands down probably the weirdest Looney Tunes cover ever. This is hands
Bugs.
down. Who is she?
I think she's one of the ladies from well, Bugs. First off, I don't know what happened. He had to like botched plastic surgery or whatever. The lady, I always was under the assumption, Matt, if you're watching, you probably might know this better than I do, that it's one of the ladies from Speaking of the Weather. You know, when they're singing a song, and it's the 3 ladies that are at the piano. And I remember that scene itself is actually from an older cartoon from, I think, a black and white Merry Melody. But I think that's one of those ladies from that one.
I think
Is Speaking on the Weather on that set?
I've got to sing a torch song is the one you're thinking of. That's
yes.
So maybe, but such an odd choice for a cover. I mean, shiny, so there's that. My one unfortunately has a little scratch there. It's like, nah, throw in the bin. That's it.
Yeah.
it is no longer in mid condition. Although look at Bugs in the back though. Look at that. That is fantastic.
Hubba.
That
and
is
Porky and Daffy, I got to give them credit too.
Fantastic. So I love this auto zoom thing. It's fantastic. But volume 3 is actually when they start getting into the more quote unquote naughtier stuff. They sort of dip their toe into a few of the more racially insensitive and all that stuff, and the more obscure things. And and then Volume 4, they had a whole disc dedicated to Tashlin as well. So they started doing director's themes. There was even on Volume 5 as well that they started doing the Bob Clampett as well. So you got quite a few things here. This one is probably one of the best one because they got stuff on there which I don't think they'll ever even upgrade on Blu-ray. Maybe they will. I don't know.
I really hope so. I know that, again, somebody's probably going to yell at me, but that was the final set that came out in 2000. Well, the Golden Collections were 2003 to 2008, and that was the last one. And they were planning, I think, to go up to Volume 8.
10.
10, Volume 10. That was my set. That was my first guess, but I went with 8. And yeah, you got some really cool, like obviously some of the World War II ones. You have
Bosco,
Bosco,
Buddy.
yep. My personal favorite Bosco cartoon is on there, Bosco in Person.
Oh,
And
that's a great one. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely it's always been my favorite Bosco short. And I think Bosco's Picture Show is on there one as well, right?
It is. So yeah, you got Congo Jazz, Smile Down Your Smile. So that's a really good one. You don't know what you're doing. I like that one. We're in the
That's what
money.
people tell me all the time, but
Yeah.
oh wait, the cartoon, right?
Well, pretty soon as this show becomes more and more popular, we're in the money. Yes.
Ooh, and
there we
maybe
go.
I'll throw some jazz of a Congo. No, never mind. But Congo, you know what? Now that you say that, Congo Jazz, that's the second Looney Tune cartoon ever. And I mean, we have Sinking in the Bathtub, but it was never properly restored. It would have been cool to have literally the first and second, because is Lady Play Your Mandolin on there? I don't
No,
remember.
I don't think
Okay.
that's ever. I don't think Lady Playing Mandolin's ever been released on disc. At least,
The first Merry Melody, in case someone chimes in on the
well,
comments.
maybe as a special feature, one of the Warner Archive releases. But in terms of an actual Looney Tune set, they actually it hasn't been on there. So look, you're going to get. I mean, the first set has 56, and the rest has 60 cartoons each. That's a lot of cartoons. And the cool thing is, you can buy them individually, but there are actually sets where you can have all 6 volumes in one complete package. Or so you got, let's see, 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, so it's like what, 356 cartoons plus a few bonus cartoons that are not restored as well. You got Bugs Bunny Superstar on here, which I'm gonna point out something in a moment. You got all of these documentaries. You got the Mel Blanc documentary about his life, which some bits are not quite right. And then you got just interviews in general and odds and ends. So it's actually, even though some of the transfers have improved in future sets, this is still one of the best series you'll ever be able to buy. So yeah, all 6 right here. I know if any of you have any OCD or whatever, yeah, I'm aware. They changed the format throughout the years. They started, they were like big boys in the beginning and then became really thin towards the end. But whatever, it's what's inside that counts, right, Manny?
Indeed, and I banged my microphone against the thing. Did they come out at the same time in Australia they did in the US? Because like I said, the first was 2003.
They never came out here. I have to import all of them.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
They never came out here. I think certain Spotlight collections did. Because I remember in the dying days of the Warner Brothers store, we actually did have one of those here in Australia, in Melbourne. And I remember they sold some of the Spotlight collections. So, yeah.
Now that you mention that with the whole, importing, did you have like a regionless player or what? Well, first of all, what region is Australia? Because
well, it's region 4, but
okay.
Warner Brothers, for whatever reason, never really took seriously the region locking.
Okay.
So I would import stuff and everything would just play. Warner Brothers was just an anomaly with that. Other studios like Paramount and all that, they would have region locking. So region 1, USA is region 1, which I know you would say USA.
Because I honked the horn in my car. No, USA. It's like when I'm driving home.
Hey, hey, sir, what's all the commotion? We're region 1 on DVDs, USA, and then everyone else is honking and down the freeway. Everyone's just the expressway. Is that what they call? Yeah. Anyway, so those sets, highly recommended. Okay, so what came next is probably the most controversial ones, and I think you already know what's coming, Manny.
Yeah, I was gonna say it, but yeah,
Yeah,
the
these
superstars.
now these ones you can get dirt cheap, by the way. So despite my feelings on a few of these releases, they're still pretty good. So, all right, so these first two. You would only want these because the first few cartoons are presented correctly in the full frame format, but the rest were cropped, and that sucked. And for a while, that was the only way you could see certain shorts restored because these are all new. These were not on the Golden Collection, so these are more shorts. So you would get stuff like on the Daffy one, TikTok Tuckered and Daffy Dilly. Well, I love Daffy Dilly. Daffy's uh, Ducking the Devil. That's a decent one. So Bugs Bunny as well. I mean, this one's got hair trimmed, one of the greatest Bugs and Sam shorts of all time. But yeah, unfortunately, it's cropped. So with these two, only get them if you can get them for a few bucks each, and I think you can on Amazon. They did, however, improve on things. So we've got here. I mean, yeah, this I think was supposed to originally have a lot of the Chuck Jones ones, but then they changed it, and so you're gonna get a lot of the Rudy LaRiva, the terrible ones. I know it does have two Chuck Jones ones in here. It's got his last two that he ever made, I believe. I think it does. Yeah, Chariots of Fur and oh no, it's only got the one. Oh, there you go. Well, this has got one, but then it's got the CG ones, and you can play it on both widescreen and full screen. They gave you the option. Ditto with this one. Foghorn Leghorn and Friends. So at least you have the option. So these ones I do recommend. Those of you who have been following the channel for a long time know that I'm a huge Foghorn Leghorn fan. He's probably one of my favorite characters. And as you get older, yeah, he becomes more relatable.
You mentioned Sam before, and my father. He probably, I would say those are his two favorite characters, Sam and Foghorn. They fit his personality well because he's loud and he's well, more in the past, but pay attention, boy. Even though my dad's he's not from the South, he's a New Yorker. But I guess it's the same vibe, that Rhode Island Red, or I don't know, that hot dog turned what? Never mind.
We just did. Me and SC actually recorded the track for Raw Raw Rooster, and the funny thing about that is, if you look at Rhode Island Red, voiced by Dawes Butler, doing like his impression of what's his
Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason,
Yeah,
yes,
Jackie, that one. Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing an impression of Jackie Gleason. It just happens to be someone that's Jackie. Just
that
sounds like him.
raspy voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Alice, that kind
Hey
of.
Alice. Yeah, that one.
But the funny thing is, he's got the overcoat, he's got the ukulele, and he says 23 Skidoo, does all of the 1920s references. Now, that sure came out in 1953, so that implies that Foghorn Leghorn and him would be in, their late 40s, early 50s, like real middle-aged, it makes the short even funnier.
I mean, we're not quite there yet. Well, that's weird, too, because, like, we're watching that cartoon. It was made in the 50s. And it was referencing the 20s, as in the 20s of 100 years ago. And, you said probably in their 40. Well, I'm not 40. I'm almost 40. But yeah, it's like kind of like if we were to reference stuff from, what would that be? Yeah, 30 years ago would be
Like, 90s.
Oh, the 90s, yeah. Well, we were kids back then. It's not like we were in college, but
Yeah, so it's pretty much just a case of just these cartoons are old people, they're very old, and yeah, it's just funny how it's like, oh, you want to play a game of golf? Golf? I practically invented that game. He's just such a loud mouth. Actually, that one's a good one. I maintain that even the later Foghorns were still among McKibben's best stuff. I love it. So this one I highly recommend as well. So someone's saying that Manny guy looks a lot like me.
oh, I wonder who that could be.
It's
I know
Jackie
that guy.
Gleason.
Yeah. I know that guy on the right. Yeah, I know that guy in the comment. That's my brother. So, hi, Carlos.
Yeah, I sort of guessed.
Yeah, the last name didn't. It clearly didn't give it away.
So here's one. This is the hilarious one. This one actually has all of the Pepe Le Pews. First of all, don't watch them all in a row like I did. Don't.
Oh, why would you do that to yourself?
Because I'm an idiot. But but still, it was good to have all of them on the one set to refer to and all of that. And the funny thing was, there was that whole thing about the quote unquote banning, right? And our mutual friend Austin Kelly, right? He was telling me this. I thought this was hilarious. So it was clearly a slow news day. Someone picked up that one obscure comment or that Pepe Le Pew, stalker, that kind of thing, right? So they had their opinion, but then they just blew it up into this big thing, like everyone thinks this and they want to get banned and whatever. So this became like really, really like valuable, like even though there was so many in stock. So Austin sold his, I think, for like $100 a pop or something. Even though you can buy it now for like $5. So he made some money from some really gullible people. So yeah.
I should have done that too. I mean, I still have my. I don't know if before I kept looking this way because I have my books and my physical media in the same shelves, but I bought another one because I want to have my physical media separated. And I'm like looking over there, but do you? I don't have all the superstars. I have the Pepe Le Pew one, which again I should have sold it. No, I like to have them. I have. I think Sylvester Tweety, one of the Bugs. I have Porky, Peppy, and Foghorn, and I think Roadrunner. I think there's like one or two that I'm missing because I think the initial Bugs one and the Daffy ones with the cropping ones. I'm like, I'm not going to buy that. It's a waste of money. What's the point?
Yeah, so there's there is also another Sylvester one, but they were all repeats. And there was a European exclusive Bugs Bunny one that were all repeats as well. So there's two extra ones, which I don't have because what's the point? But still worthy to have. It just doesn't have the commentaries for the few in there that were repeats from the Golden Collection. That's the only drawback. But still, for a few bucks, can't go wrong. And I do like the cover. Like these covers are actually way better than a lot of the Golden Collection, where they use the airbrushing. At least these look good. I do have to say, I definitely think so. But yeah, you can't go wrong. So yeah, and so once again, no, Pep is not banned. No, they didn't want him in Space Jam, not because of upstairs saying you can't have him. It's because there was too many characters already and they couldn't fit him in. Okay, done. All right, he's not banned. All right, here's
Ah,
your boy. How do we say your boy?
my boy, Porky.
Yeah, I can't do it. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Look out, Bob Bergen. Um,
Yep. Bob
but
Berg and Eric Bauza, I'm coming for you guys. Yeah, right.
yeah, but this one has, the restorations of some of these are a little bit, you know, let's just say they could be better, and they have improved on it since. Like Tom, Turk, and Daffy, they've improved on it, although they've fixed one error on a frame. So
Yeah, I was just about to mention that because, as you've heard me say a million times, Tom Turk and Daffy is one of my absolute favorite Warner Brothers shorts. I could watch it outside of Thanksgiving, and when it finally came on physical media, I saw it. I was like, the restoration kind of sucks. And then it just came out on it was a Collector's Vault, right? Collector's Vault Volume One.
yeah,
Was it on that? Yeah. And there was something about it's a scene where Porky's like on top of the mound of snow, and then he gets hit inside with like all the snowballs from Daffy. And there's a frame where it's like his eyes, they messed up when they were shooting with the camera. They're gonna probably flip the cell in the wrong way, and it's like something like that. It's just like, oh yeah, they made mistakes. It's kind of like when you hear a recording and like you hear a singer cracking on it, and they fix it for some reason on the Collector's Vault, and I'm like, why? Like, yeah, it looks weird, but that's the charm of that scene. It's like they made a mistake when they photographed it back in the 40s, but I don't know. I mean, it looks great. Much better on the Collector's Vault than the Porky Pig set, but yeah, I know some of the other ones too didn't look that great in general because of the whole Cinecolor process. I think was it Riff Raffy Daffy? Is that on there?
yeah, that's on this one. Yeah, so they re-restored it. Even that still doesn't look the best, even when it was redone. But still,
That's a Cinecolor. I mean,
it's an issue. You can't
yeah,
can't deal with that. But look, this one's got some great ones there. Thumb fun, full coverage. I mean, I maintain that McKimson, his Falcon series is the best, no question. But his next best is his Porky and Daffy sub series. That's what I think.
Agreed, and that's why I mean me personally, like Porky and Daffy is my favorite Looney Tune pairing, and a lot of the McKimson ones in particular is why. Like I would see them as a kid, like Thumb Fun, Boobs in the
Oh,
Woods,
oh, you said a word.
Daffy. Oh, ooh, Boob.
Exactly.
um, the what makes is it no Daffy Duck slept here? That one. Just a kangaroo. I'm just a kangaroo.
Yes. Speaking of kangaroo, funnily enough,
See,
Perf-
I did not plan that.
so this has all of them. And unlike that Pepper set where it's the same director, same shtick all the time with minor variations, at least this one has a variety. Some have Hippity Hopper, some have Sylvester Jr. Like, I mean, it's a bit nice variety there. I actually definitely like this one, but it's actually the last in the series of the superstars. So yeah, definitely get these cheap. But the last few that they did, namely these four, they're definitely worth owning. These four.
Yeah.
Okay. The other three, if you can find them dirt cheap somewhere, just for collector's sake, you can put them in. So yeah. But amongst all of that, though, we did have the more premium series, which thank goodness that back in print for everyone, because I hated saying on the reviews you can find this short on the Looney Tunes Platinum Collection Volume 2 when it's out of yeah. So I got this one. That's the Volume 1. Now that when they reissued it, they did not reissue this special fancy
Oh,
schmancy
yeah, I was
one.
about to say, what happened? Did it gain weight, the set?
No, well, that's the top part of it. This is the limited edition one that came out at the time. So it's you open it up, and you
Ooh.
got this nice fancy book.
I never even knew that came out. I just have the regular Platinum Collection Volume 1.
So there's
Yeah,
that.
that one.
Yeah, but it has the disc. It has the little the booklet with some artwork in there. So it's probably similar to what's the Tom and Jerry one that's just come out as well. So yeah, so it's got some pretty cool stuff in there, and of course it's got the 3 discs, and the Blu-ray version has an exclusive third disc in there, and it contains more Chuck Jones stuff because they went all out. The Platinum Collection had some upgrades to HD or HD for a lot of the earlier releases, and plus some new ones as well. And I think it didn't do as well because there were so many repeats. I think that was the problem. I wanted to upgrade because I want these things looking as best as possible, but I can understand, and I think it was during the leftover parts for the financial crisis around that time. Because remember, there was that big crash, people losing jobs, and that. I think just supposedly income just went way, way, way down, and people just weren't buying as much, and people were looking at this going, they were just looking at this going, oh, it's it's not really necessary.
That
So
was like 2011 to 2013. I think that's when those sets came out.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a few years after the whole financial crisis. That was right when I started like formally working in 2011. I mean, I bought it anyway. I'm like, my nerdiness compelled me to buy it, but I could understand for like the more casual limited edition. Ooh. Man, I had no idea that existed. This whole big, or as one of the comments actually said it, it was, where is it? Real Monkey 64. It's a very sexy box. Oh, cool.
from the Clampett Studio collections too. It comes with that.
Yeah.
The certificate that says I'm for.
I'm for. You was right, Louie. I'm for.
And this magnet thingy, I don't even know what it's supposed to be, but yeah, it's like, it's in there. It's. But this is something because I know that you are a heavy drinker, man. No, I know you don't
Every
drink.
single night.
I'm drinking right now. Because this actually features something very interesting. Shot glass.
Ooh.
Sexy shot
I got to
glass.
add that to my vast shot glass collection. I actually don't have many. I have Sonic the Hedgehog shot glasses. And because I just thought they were cool. And what's another one I have? I think there was like one more that I bought recently. Oh, I have a Bad Bunny one when I went to his concert. I think that's it.
But they released another one, and this one was more Tex Avery type focus. And I like how the second disc on each of them do the complete filmography of stuff. I think the first one did the complete Nasty Canasta, complete Witch Hazel. And this one had the complete something else, forgot. But it's It's a little bit more basic than the other one. Actually, this one had the complete nasty canaster. Sorry, I thought it was the first one, but still, they would do the various runs of characters and have an exclusive third disc focusing on Tex Avery. So, see, it says the complete nasty canaster as well. So it's again, I'm glad this is finally on being reprinted. Why it went out of print, I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. Oh, and this has the complete hunting trilogy as well in HD. So that's fun as well. So again, lots of repeats, but also a lot of new stuff in there as well. But unfortunately, yeah, mainly repeats. And I think again, people were kind of like, well, what's the point? And also, I think a lot of people may not have upgraded to HD TVs. Like they were still sticking to the like widescreen big TVs, but standard def. I think that was, and they didn't see much difference between DVD and Blu-ray. I think that was the problem too. So this is the last one. I think this one's always been in print. I think it was just the first two that was out of print. I think maybe I don't know.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So this one they cut back. There's no exclusive third disc this time. They just put the remainder of stuff in there. So and you can see they really cut back even with the book as well. Like it's just more, like lesser stuff in there. Not the worst, but yeah, they definitely cut way back. Way back. Still, it was fine for what it is, but the series got cancelled. And yeah, as Jerry even said, Jerry Beck, the historian that helped curate these things, he doesn't work for Warner's, but he helps curate these things. Yeah, there was just no more budget for restoration. I think it was just regime changes and that sort of thing. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, see, Matt even says, yeah, I was one of the people who didn't go for the Blu-ray Platinum set right away because of the repeats. So I think that was the issue right there.
Matt, I'm surprised. I figured you would be on top of that. But then again, like you were saying before, I mean, still to this day, with the whole release of the Tom and Jerry set, which I have in my other room, I could bring it, show it to you. Ooh. Because you haven't gotten it yet, right? In Australia, right?
No.
Okay. But like still to this day, like I was looking at some comments online about the new Tom and Jerry set. Highly, highly recommended. Please go get it. And people are like, oh, like the DVD. Why do I have to get a blue? I'm like, dude, like a part of me is like, it's 2025. Like there is a difference between DVD and Blu-ray. Like for example, I had several films that I've had on DVD, then the Blu-ray, and then the 4K. One of them was Willy Wonka. Love the original film. And like I compared it. I had put the DVD in. I was watching a few seconds of it. I think it was like the scene when they first arrive in a chocolate factory. Then I popped in the Blu-ray and I was like, all right, you definitely see an upgrade. And then I got it on 4K and I was like, yeah, it's like clearly a difference. It looks so much better. And
Looks like a film.
yeah, it looks like you can see the grain, you could actually see more details and whatnot. And I don't know. I mean, Blu-ray players are a lot cheaper now, and also with a lot of gaming systems. Like my Blu-ray player is a PlayStation 5, and then I do 4K Blu-ray, and you see the difference, but you know, different strokes for different folks. So what am I gonna
Exactly.
say?
And also, the Tom and Jerry set that just come out is also on DVD. You're just not going to get that last disc of bonus features. So if you're still stuck in the DVD land, well, you still got the option. If that's your thing, honestly, more power to you. I mean, I have the controversial opinion that they should start phasing it away and just make Blu-ray the standard. But look, that's just me. But whatever, I'm not in charge of things. So, but speaking of DVD, this one I would love to see an upgrade though to Blu-ray for sure. But Bugs Bunny Superstar. So for those that don't know, this is the documentary narrated by Orson Welles, and this actually is one of the earliest times that they took animation seriously as a topic. There was a TV special by John K. that's on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection, where he actually got Chuck Jones and Mel Blanc to reenact like a recording session as well, which was pretty cool. That's definitely worth seeing. But this is definitely still one of the earlier ones, and it's more Bob Clamper focused. He actually hosts it. Bit of controversy on this one. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about credits, who created Bugs Bunny, whatever. But it's still a great time capsule. Highly, highly recommended. I actually grew up with this. I taped it off television, funnily enough. So, yeah, I was into animation history even early on. So, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have the DVD here. I never saw it until a few years ago, actually. And yeah, it's cool, to see, like when animation history was being taken seriously, and again, thanks to the efforts of guys like Leonard Maltin and obviously Jerry Beck and all these
John
other guys,
Maker, yeah.
John Canemaker in the 70s, because these guys, they are in their 70s now. They're like my father's generation, in the 50s, born in the 50s, but they were the first generation of kids to watch these cartoons on in syndication on television. Because for those that don't know, Warner Brothers sold about 330 Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies to a company called Associated Artists Productions in 1956, and they pretty much they lost the copyright to the cartoons. AAP had ownership of these cartoons, and over the years they jumped around to different companies, United Artists, MGM, and they eventually made their way back home to Warner Brothers in 1996 or 95 with the look it up when you get the time. But anyway, like these, because I was listening, I think, to an interview that Jerry did once where he was talking about how he grew up watching these cartoons, the early Bugs Bunny shorts and the ones from the 30s and 40s on TV in New York in the 50s and 60s, which sounds like my dad, because my dad, same thing, same time period, watching these shorts in the 50s and 60s. And they didn't have the internet. They didn't have the books. These were the pioneers. They were watching them, these guys who grew up in the 50s and 60s, and they're like, all right, like these cartoons are funny. Who's Robert McKimson? Who's Mel Blanc? And they were fortunate that they took the initiative to research and find these, the voice actors and the directors and the animators that were still alive in this time in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And it's a drag from our perspective because I got into this hobby in 2002, late 2000, 2001. And by that point, pretty much they were all gone. Mel Blanc died when I was a baby. McKimson, Tashlin, Avery died before I was born. Clampett as well. And Chuck Jones died in 2002 when I was still new to this hobby when I was in middle school. And they, Cane Maker, and they actually got to interact with these guys. And this is again when this animation research was still brand new, because I was 1975 when they did Bugs Bunny Superstar. And also too, from the fact of me being a history geek, is like, oh wow, it's like 50 years ago and blah blah blah, and all the things that we've learned over the years. And as you hinted, with the whole controversy with Superstar and just how Clampett presented things, and like I said, we don't have the time to talk about that now, but it's it's definitely a cool documentary to check out. And again, dig a little more after you watch it, because some things are not 100% accurate, but it's a load of fun. I definitely enjoyed it.
And this one even has one of the special features, which I thought was very interesting, is by the director of this documentary, Larry Jackson, and hearing his point of view on the making of this. So that's definitely one to listen to. Matt does mention that this is the only physical release that has the wonderful Sylvester Tweedy short "I Tore a Putty Tat." Classic, I smell something burning, that kind of, that
Oh yeah.
ridiculous, Sylvester dressed up as a maid. Now that one needs to be restored, and, fingers crossed that comes out on the Collector's Vault Volume 2 or whatever. I would love to see that one restored. I think it's about time. It's long overdue. So hopefully that'll come out at some point. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, definitely, I would love to see this upgraded in HD. Will it get much of a, I guess an upgrade in terms of picture quality? Maybe a little, but But do you have this one,
Yes,
Matt?
I do. I actually I watched it today, and I was watching well, I was watching the copy of the cartoon that I may have allegedly supposedly ripped from that disc. I do have the disc because it said Chuck Jones, it said Mouse Chronicles on it. I was watching Bedtime for Sniffles today.
Yeah, I mean that one. Bedtime for Sniffles. Look, say what you want about it, and Jones's early work in general, but that one has some of the most beautiful rendition
Mm.
of "Beautiful Dreamer." My goodness.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because I was rewatching it, obviously for the holidays. We're doing this in December, and I was rewatching it, and yeah, you read my mind. One of the first things I was noticing was, God, Beautiful Dreamer, despite the whole history controversy with Stephen Foster, who composes the piece. It's just the way that it was done. It was orchestrated and arranged by Stalling and Franklin. It sounds so gorgeous. And also, animation wise, Sniffles cartoons obviously are not the most interesting cartoons in the world, but man, they look so gorgeous. The backgrounds, the animation, just like that's what I always say about the earlier shorts from the 30s and 40s. Like they may, or especially the Merry Melodies from that time period, they may not be the most interesting shorts to watch, but musically, I eat them up, and artistically, like I love how they look.
Exactly, and this as a because this also came out on DVD, but out of the two, you need the Blu-ray so you can properly appreciate just how beautiful those shorts looked. Those early Sniffle ones, and it also has Hubie and Birdie, so you got a nice contrast of the early slower yet beautiful looky ones to the more artistic, faster paced ones. But it's a great set. It also includes a lot of bonus shorts that are not restored. Some have been restored since, but
Like Country Mouse, I think is one of them.
yeah, still, it's a nice little set, and I think they were hoping to make more of these Chuck Jones collections, whatever. But yeah, I think they didn't quite read the market on that one because I don't think anyone was screaming for a set like that.
Nobody wants to watch Sniffles and Hubie and Birdie. Yeah, sure.
Huey Birdie maybe, but Sniffles no, and I think that's why that set didn't do too well. I think just yeah, but still, it's a nice set to have. I like it, just like this one, which yeah.
Talk about controversy.
All right, so on paper, this set, which I love, by the way, I'm going to say this up front. I do still love this set, okay? Despite what I'm about to say. This one contains 101 Porky Pig shorts, all of them. All of his black and white appearances and two color ones, with the two color ones being his first appearance, I Haven't Got a Hat, and the other one that was speaking of Chuck Jones a moment ago, which was Manny?
Old Glory from 1939.
Yeah. So this in theory, could have been better. I mean, look, I actually like the way the discard is. I actually like that. Like, it's actually
Yeah,
really
very
nice in
nice.
that. And the fact that it has all of them uncut, by the way, including a few like Africa Squeaks, which you can see why they pared that one down when shown on TV to like, what, 5 minutes or something when it was shown?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it as a kid, but I think I was on a commentary too for Africa Squeaks. But yeah, Africa Squeaks, there's too much stuff to cut. Like it again, the whole censored 11. The censored 11 are AAP cartoons, but yeah, if they created a censored 11 quote unquote for the cartoons that Warner still owned or the whole Guild Films library, it would be on there. And when it aired on Nickelodeon in the 90s, and actually there's a comment I want to read in a moment from my brother, but he might have seen Africa Squeeze on Nickelodeon because it was cut down to about 4.5 minutes. And I think it was also redrawn colorized, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know how they shouldn't have just not even shown it. It's just completely pointless.
exactly. That would have been a very interesting one to see. So this one, the controversy lies from the fact that some of the masters that they use, well, first of all, anything that was restored, except for one, they just forgot. But generally speaking, yeah, they put the restored ones on there. Special features that they had, like audio commentaries, they put on there. And but unfortunately, the stuff that wasn't restored, they just did a very basic job of trying to get as clean as possible. The quality wasn't even good enough for Blu-ray, hence why there's no Blu-ray version. That's how. But to be fair, this was such a low-budget affair to get underway. It really was. So I'm just glad it even came out. And this was definitely Jerry Beck's passion project, you know. And yeah, some of the titles were wrong. So they got some of the title music wrong. I think Porky's
Oh
Tire
God.
Trouble reused on a few of them, which shouldn't be. Uh, it is a flawed set, and a lot of the ones that were unrestored on this have since been restored. So ideally, I'd love to see Jerry's vision properly come true, where they re-release Porky Pig 101, they fix whatever's on here, and redo it, because I think the idea for this set is fantastic.
I just thought of an idea. I think the theme song for this stream should be
Porky's
the
Tire
cue from
Trouble.
It's a song Monday morning. Monday morning, da, 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 but it's a specific use of it in the beginning of Porky's Tire Trouble. And it's, I don't know how it happened, but you would be, for example, Naughty Neighbors. Like you would have the beginning of Naughty Neighbors, and it has a very like distinct cue that Carl Song wrote, and or you would hear the Looney Tunes theme song, and then Then you put another one. Dun, 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 dun. You're expecting to hear this. It's literally the same. And it was so noticeable where it's like you would hear Porky's tire trouble and then it cuts to the proper soundtrack of the actual cartoon. I'm just like, you know, somebody must have gotten fired for that blunder or whatever. But I know that Jerry spoke about it, and obviously the constraints of the budget and the timing or whatever. Like, I'm not going to fault him, and the fact that we have shorts like Africa Squeaks and Porky's Aunt and some of the more politically incorrect shorts, like the fact that we have them available from a legal release is already a huge step in the right direction. But fingers crossed for the collector's vault so we can get redos of these.
Yeah, or just redo Porky 101 because I think like I said, the idea of this is fantastic, and I think we're actually very close. I think most of the ones on here have since been restored anyway, so
Mhm.
it wouldn't take much just to go. Okay, we just got to upgrade Africa Squeaks. There's also that what's that? What Arab one?
Oh, Alibaba Bound.
Yeah, that like stuff like that. You can fix up those ones and then release it. Um, so during I don't like saying the C word, but COVID, we did get one interesting release. My one's a little bit banged up, but this is the Bugs Bunny 80th.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and that's what's inside, by the way. And they're finally, I think, early next year, 2026, they're finally releasing this on its own without the pop. So
Yeah.
if you've been waiting for this, I highly recommend this because I was saying before about Pepe Le Pew, it's the same shtick over and over, same director, whatever. At least with Bugs Bunny's filmography, yeah, same character. But each and every direct, it's covered by each and every director pretty much. So you've got, I think, yeah, obviously Tex Avery, you've got Chuck Jones, Friz Freeling, Bob McKimson. Like, you've got a wide variety here. Because I remember what happened was once Porky 101 came out, there was radio silence. Warner Archive tried again with Popeye, the 1940s Volume 1 on Blu-ray, and that did very well, and they continued with that. But people wondering, what's going to happen with Looney Tunes? There was a special feature, I think, on Wizard of Oz, where they had a short that wasn't restored before. Someone was working on it, so people were going, "What's this? What's going on?" And turned out it was I think it was for another project, but they ended up using it for this. Long story here. But here you got a whole bunch of new restorations for Bugs Bunny shorts, and you get a whole bunch of them. No, you don't get the controversial ones, and yeah.
The
But
good thing about that set too is because I know some of the people that were, people complain on the internet. That never happens.
nah, never.
But one of the big things that I did like about it was the Funko Pop. No, I mean, I was collecting a lot of Funko Pops pre-COVID and I had to sell a lot of them during COVID. But one of the cool things about that set, and I think that was the intention that Jerry and George Feltenstein were working on in the set, was filling in the gaps of shorts that never made it to home video, the non-controversial ones, because you know there's no What's Opera Doc on that one. If I'm not mistaken, I think What's Opera Doc is not on that one. But like the big ones, like a Wild Hair is on there, Elmer's Candid Camera, things of that nature. But then there was like some of the late 50s ones from, I think, McKimson and Freeling and Jones, that we needed to fill the whole Bugs Bunny filmography, because there you go. So we got, looks like you got a hair raising hair on there. You got Baby Buggy Bunny, things of that nature. But yeah, it definitely helped fill in a lot of those gaps. And as of right now, and also with the later collector's vault and collector's choice, there's only about, what, I think, a dozen Bugs Bunny shorts that have not been released on home video, and most of them are the more controversial ones, like Fresh Hair and All This in Rabbit Stew.
There you go,
Hey,
Jerry. There you go. Jerry's making an appearance on the stream. There he is.
hi Jerry. You look very small today. I don't know why. But
uh,
yeah, and I also know there was people online complaining. I mean, I guess it was during COVID, so the whole money thing, because a lot of people were not working. I know, because I'm still paying off the debt I got from COVID. But they were like, why am I going to buy the set if it has the stupid Funko Pop attached to it, blah, blah, blah. But now, like you said, they're re-releasing it without the pop. So you have no excuse. Go out and buy it. Fill in fill in those gaps of Bugs Bunny shorts that you're missing. And they look great.
They really do. And one added thing I loved about that set, you get a brand new 60-minute documentary about the history of Bugs Bunny. And it's fantastic. I mean, you and I could watch it and we'd probably know like 99% of it, right? But
Yeah.
it's still a great watch. And also, here we go. What's with the stern expression, Jerry? Yeah, well, I assure you he's smiling, okay? But yeah, that documentary is fantastic. It's a great one if you want to show people the history of it, especially to those who think that these were made for TV when they were not made for TV. The stuff that you saw that was made for TV back in the day, that's Scooby Doo, okay? Anything like that is your generation. So there you are. All right. But yeah, there was again radio silence for a while. Like there was just nothing. I mean, they released some cool stuff from Water Archive. Like not only the Hanna-Barbera stuff, they also released Tex Avery, which I never thought in a million years would happen, but it
Yep.
did.
I have all those. Yep.
We have all
And the
except
Popeyes.
5. Yep, we have all except 5 of those Tex Averys available restored. I don't know how they're going to release those last 5. My guess is if they do like a Tex Avery Looney Tunes Blu-ray set and put them as bonus features. I don't know. Don't ask me because I have no answer for that. But there was a thing that people noticed on this shopping website or something, collector's choice, and people were like, what's this? And even Jerry was sort of going, wait, what? Like what is this? I mean, I don't know if he was playing dumb or whatever, but people going, what is this? But I mean, this was the end product, the collector's choice.
Ta-da.
The idea behind the collector's choice, and there's 4 of them, was to include stuff never released on physical media. So even if it was on DVD, completely new. Because around the time, actually, I should backtrack that a little bit. HBO Max, when it first came out, had all of these, like literally hundreds of new restorations, but none of them came on disc. Yes, they had errors on them, some of them with the title cards and all that stuff. Yes, fine, whatever. But there was so many of them, and it's like, well, they're ready. Why not just add them? So what do? They release the collector's choice, and the idea is that they'll include a few brand new restorations that's exclusive to this set. So this one has Catcher's Cat Can and the long overdue restoration of Beanstalk Bunny. That was a big one. So yeah, I mean, it's bare bones. No special features. Not even cover art. That's not a complaint. It's just reality, okay? It's all about the tunes in any case. So this one has 20 shorts on it, never before released on physical media, and they fixed a lot of the mistakes. A few slipped through, but honestly, it's not the end of the world. So that's Volume 1. You have Volume 2, because it was hugely successful. Again, all brand new. There's another 20. There's 25 here this time, so they upped it a little bit instead of the 20. So they remastered Brother Brat. That's childhood favorite. What else do they? Ghost Wanted, which is a very weird, obscure early Chuck Jones short. So there's that. So there's that one. Volume 3, same deal. 25. They redid one of them, which was the one that you like, Manny.
Which one is that?
You know the one that looked awful on the Porky Pig set.
Oh, Riff Raffy Daffy.
Yeah. So
Okay,
they redid it for this one, even though it still looks average. But it was an interesting choice, though. Instead of doing a brand new one, they ended up just going back and redoing one of the other ones. Not a complaint. I just thought it was different, you know. But even Hobo Bobo, they found the title cards as well, and they just put that on there. So they did a lot of interesting stuff here. This had some Egghead stuff. Egghead rides again. China Jones, I never thought would see the light of day.
Yeah, I remember that. Ooh.
Yeah, that was fun, you know. But anyway, another one, and then it took a little longer for Volume 4, and I think they were starting to realize doing only deep cuts means less people would buy them. So which and this one actually has 25 plus 2. I think this was them dipping their toe into the next series I'm about to discuss, where they included 2 that were released on DVD, but they came from Looney Tunes Superstars Daffy Duck, and they were originally cropped. So there's that. So 4 volumes, and the cool thing is you can either buy them individually like this, but there's also a volume 1, 2, 3, 4, all in one keepsake.
Volume 14.
Yes, that's right. But yeah, I think they realized, look, okay, doing deep cuts might hurt sales because the deeper they go, I mean, if they continue doing that, volume 8 would be like probably all Boscos and Buddies and people stuff that only the hardcore nerds like us would actually enjoy.
That's what the public demands.
So this is the latest one, and yes, they've announced volume 2. It just hasn't come out yet. They haven't even released the actual contents of it. They may do it before Christmas. I don't know. I do not have.
That.
Yeah, I do not have the inside information on it. Things can change. But this is a fantastic idea. So they're continuing the same idea with Collector's Choice. They have one disc, never before released tunes. Okay? But then the second disc, they've gone back and anything that was released on DVD only, they've upgraded it to HD.
HD. I was really happy to see a personal childhood favorite, and for those of us who grew up in the era of public domain videotapes, A Day at the Zoo, finally getting a proper HD restoration on that Collector's Vault Volume 1. That was the first cartoon I went to when I bought that set.
And that's the thing. This one has Rabbit Punch, finally upgraded to Blu-ray quality. That's a childhood favorite of mine as well.
Great short.
You know, Ain't Sweet. Ain't Tweet. Come on, that's a great one. That's Horton Hatch is the egg. That looks stunning in high definition or HD.
One of the longest Warner Brothers shorts ever made, so like almost at 10 minutes long.
Yep, Daffy Duck and Egghead, another one I grew up with. Daffy Dilly, I mean, we love it. So we got here, The Public Deserves Cool Cat. Yeah, we need a complete Cool Cat. So that's all of them. Unless you count the offshoots and unless you count those Warner Archive releases where they have like one short as a bonus feature or something, I'm not bothering with those. Nothing personal. I just don't have the time, money, or whatever. I don't want to buy it just for the cartoon. Some might argue, but you can maybe watch the movie, but it's like, well, if I don't like the movie, then I bought it for nothing, right? So
exactly, yeah.
But there's a lot of shorts that will they make this. I don't know. So Manny's just making me all hungry.
Sorry. I was stuffing. I finally eaten the fries. I've been sitting there.
Yeah, no, they definitely do that. Yeah, so and Camden did mention one I don't have. It's through Thunderbean, the private snafu Blu-ray, because they're all in the public domain.
Oh, I have that one.
There you go. You got something I don't have.
1 second, let me grab it.
While you're doing that, I'll just read here. So now we need the Buddies Bearcats Essential Collection. Now, look, while it's doubtful that they'll ever put these on 4K Blu-ray, even though a lot of these have been restored in 4K quality, it's got to be Buddies Bearcats. That's going to be the first one, of course. I kid. But I would actually like them to do at least just one set where it's just got like the best of the best, but in 4K 4K UHD. You know, what's Opera Doc, that kind of thing. Just all of those. So there it is. Yep. So there you go. And it's all in the public domain. You can find them just about everywhere. But Steve Stanchfield, who's behind Thunderbean, he puts in so much effort into these things. And they've all been restored and they're all in there. So yeah, I still got to buy it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, if you want to see some of the other works from Frank Tashlin, from Clampett, Jones, definitely get that set. That's another one that's in there. That's the only one that I'm pretty much missing. So yeah, in other words, the folks are saying, "Oh, you can't watch them anymore." No, you're just not looking.
The cartoons they don't want you to see.
That's right. That's right. But look, we're not going to do every single stream to do with physical media, just so people are aware. This is just one of the topics. Next one will be to do with Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, let us know. What would you got? What would you like us to cover with the Christmas ones? I mean, we can put down our own favorite Christmas specials. I think that would work. Because believe it or not, I've never actually seen a lot of the famous Christmas specials until later in life. They may have been shown here, but as far as I'm aware, I just hadn't seen it. So, I've just never got around to it. In fact, the only one that I remember seeing growing up was the 1970s Looney Tunes one, the Christmas Carol one.
There's a lot of specials that I never saw myself. I mean, I love, how the Grinch stole Christmas. This might be sacrilegious. The music of it, I love. I was listening to the soundtrack of it today, but I've never seen a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Ooh,
I probably saw it when I was a kid, but I don't remember it. But the music itself, especially the Christmas Time Is Here, both the version with the kids singing, or the version with just the jazz trio, gorgeous, gorgeous piece of music. I love listening to that, and
Well,
it's like on a loop now.
Well, here's your homework, because Apple TV actually is going to have Charlie Brown Christmas played for free. They always do that around Christmas time, and it's in
Christmas Time Is
4K.
Here.
Yeah, so I reckon there's your homework. Watch that one.
Or if I could pick it up on physical media, I might as well do that too.
They've done it two ways. There's actually a 4K set with some of the best ones that Warner Brothers released. I really should get that one. But they've also recently released like a set with like 40 specials. Like it's got all of them except for like 5 because of rights issues.
I think what was it, Huey, our buddy Huey Nelson? He's a big. It's him, right? That he's like the big Charlie Brown fan. So like I could bug him and be like, hey, give me some ideas about watching them. Like I remember watching Charlie Brown. I don't remember what it was, but back on Nickelodeon back in the 1990s. But when I was a kid, they would show like Charlie Brown. Like you're on Nickelodeon, Charlie Brown. Matt, you're American, grew Nickelodeon and you're a little older than me, so you probably remember. But they would show Charlie Brown, but I don't remember like what was like, because Charlie Brown was not a proper TV show. It's the different specials that they had on television. It's kind of like how actually somebody brought it up, and I'll talk about it in a second. But they had a thing called Cartoon Explosion on Nickelodeon that I
Yeah.
vaguely remember seeing as a kid. And as an adult now, I know that it was the UPA cartoons and some of the cartoons from the Columbia package, the Screen Gems, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to actually, I'm going to scroll down. Actually, if you don't mind, I want to read some of the comments. But somebody mentioned a while back, if I could find it. Um, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. I apologize, but Carino Pinan, that you mentioned, Pop Arena. Pop Arena did an episode on Cartoon Explosion, and I remember the intro to Cartoon Explosion from when I was a kid, but I don't remember specifically what I watched. And you mentioned Pop Arena. I love Pop Arena's work. I listen to their channel, and if you want to really know about the history of Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies on television, they Pop Arena did their episode on Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon, not about the actual show, because Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon was just here's the intro with clips from the different shorts, and then they showed Looney Tunes, and that was my main source. I have a soft spot for that because I watched a lot of Nickelodeon as a kid, and that was my main exposure to these cartoons was Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon. Watching the terrible shorts from the '60s, the Patty Freeling 7 art shorts. My love of Porky Pig comes from there. I would watch, the black and white shorts in computer colorized or redrawn. Some of the other famous shorts, I mean, like I remember seeing, I think, I remember seeing Witch's Witch on Nickelodeon in the '90s, and I'm shocked that they put it on. Bushy hair. Some of the other, really well-known ones. I think it's Hummer Time I used to see on Nickelodeon. But yeah, you want to learn about that history I mentioned from the '50s to now? Definitely check out that channel. Pop Arena for Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon. That episode came out a few years ago because Pop Arena is going through every Nickelodeon show in chronological order. And they're at 1991, which is a big year in animation history. The first 3 Nicktoons came out. That's actually the next episode. Anthony's like, why are you plugging another channel over here? No, but Pop Arena, like if you happen to come across this, Great work. I love what you're doing for us Nickelodeon kids of the 80s and 90s and I guess 70s since Nickelodeon started in the 70s. Um, Another comment from my big brother Carlos. He mentioned, "I wish now I went with me, with our parents at WB store in New York City before the towers got attacked." So, little context to that story. I have the receipt, and our buddy Jonathan Graves. This means podcast. Hi, Jonathan. I sent him the picture of it not that long ago. So we had two or three Warner Brothers stores in my area. So I live in northeastern New Jersey. Grew up there, and we had a Warner Brothers store in Woodbridge, New Jersey, which is about at the Woodbridge Mall, which is about 20-25 minutes south of me. And I only went there a few times as a kid. It closed around 2001, I believe. The stores closed 2001, 2002. And there was another one. There was two in New York City. I think there was one in Times Square, and there was one in the World Trade Center. And I only went to the World Trade Center WB store once. And my mom and dad got me a statue of Pepe Le Pew holding Penelope, and we still have the receipt. It was $20. Remember those days when things were, $20 for a statue. Now you have to pay like 150 for it.
And
And
$20 can buy.
$20 can buy many peanuts. Explain how.
Yeah, come
And
on.
the receipt for that purchase is September 2nd, 2001.
Wow.
And when I made the realization a few years later, like my mom kept the receipt specifically, she's like, "We went 9 days before," and I'm like I had the chills when I made that realization. So,
Wow. That's
and I've seen
insane.
pictures of the WB store in the Twin Towers after the fact, and just like the debris and all this other stuff. So obviously that's a subject. I was 13 when it happened. That still haunts me to this day. But I guess on a more lighter note, I own. It's in another room. I own a statue from the Warner Brothers Studio store from Times Square. I don't know how he did it, but my father managed to haggle one of the employees or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he bought him a cup of coffee, and get him a hot dog. But I have a statue of Bugs Bunny as a theater usher, and I remember. I think I was, I was sleeping on the couch. And I woke up and opened my eyes, and I'm like, "What the?" This 6 foot tall, or I guess a meter, 2 meters. I don't know what you guys do, but it's a little bit like I think your height, Anthony. We talked about it, so you're a little taller than me. But a Bugs Bunny statue as tall as you, staring at me, and yeah, I still 25 years later, I still have it, and maybe I should sell it. It's a good chunk. Oh, and speaking of the Warner Brothers store in New York, right next to me is this my little piggy bank.
Ooh.
Yeah, New York, New York. You got Sylvester, Taz, Tweety, got Daffy, Marvin, and it's weird that Bugs is like I don't know pushing the taxi, but I've had this thing for I think 20 about 25 years.
Does it have money inside?
Money? What are you talking to? I'm a musician. I'm poor.
Well, Camden mentions here that that Keith Scott gave a whole story about Rankin Bass playing a whole lot in Australia, and it probably did. Confession time: I've never seen a Rankin Bass special ever, ever. I've never seen any of them,
Same. Never seen them.
so that's something I might need to rectify pretty soon. But yeah, Charlie Brown's Soupy Show. Well, for my 40th birthday, I've actually got a cell from that. My lovely wife bought that for me, so that was lovely. It has Charlie Brown on that cell as well. So I'm guessing if that Snoopy it would have cost a lot more money. And you know what? I'm happy. I love it. So, but yeah. So that's the stream. Physical media releases. But in the comments and all that, just let us know. Are there any specials you want us to watch? I know, Manny. Do you promise you'll finally watch it before the next stream, the Charlie Brown
What?
Christmas?
Yeah, again just from the obviously I'm aware of some of like the cultural hallmarks of it, like the his tree and whatever, and obviously the gorgeous score from Vince Walraldi. I always have trouble saying his name. Gualoraldi. I don't know. I'm trying to pronounce it in Italian, but yeah. I love the score of it. They actually, I was in Target like 2 days ago. I saw that they have a. I don't like buying re-releases of records. I would prefer buying the original copy. But I saw it there. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. But I don't have a record player now because I gave it to my nephew, my brother's son. So take good care of it if you're watching it. Okay, I gave you a $400 record player.
There we
Enjoy.
are. Which translates to $900 dues here in Australia.
$900 dues. Tobias. Even though you don't have anybody in your family named Tobias.
But I'll look at maybe watching one I haven't seen before. So if you have any recommendations, I'll give it a look and we shall report back.
I just saw something that made me laugh.
What
Nick.
my face?
Oh, well, that too. Nick Critic says there will be riots in the streets if Buddy's Bearcats never releases.
And I'll be leading the charge. I'll be one with the flames.
Hey
Yeah.
Warner, this is from Matt Hunter. Just put out the complete Daffy Speedy already. Only halfway joking. Are you sure about that, Matt?
Yep. When that releases, it'll be like the day after the death of physical media.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that'll do it for this stream, Manny. So yeah, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this because there's a little journey, and we'll do other physical media stuff in the future as well. I want to look through some of the Hanna-Barbera stuff, but we've got some cool ideas. A few ideas we have. Of course, next time we'll do the Christmas thing, but I also want to do one where we actually look at some of the worst lobby cards. So. Yeah.
I just saw a comment. I feel like an idiot. Matt pointed it out. He says it's Cartoon Kablooey. That's the show. I was thinking. I was saying Cartoon Explosion. That's actually a public domain set that I had back in the day. I was getting it confused because we were talking about Egghead and Cartoon Explosion. I remember the cover had Egghead because I think it had Hammock Night on it or Day at the Zoo. So that's why I got it confused. So Matt and Camden, Camden's been calling me out constantly. He says I don't have enough books. Camden, over here, behind me is like my air conditioner, even though I'm not using because it's cold out, and like my glass case of nerd stuff. But my shelves are here. But I'm putting a new one in. I have a shelf of physical media, a shelf of my music books, and a shelf of my nerd books. But yes, I do need more books in general. Um, so yeah, Matt says I remember the Nicktoon premiere '91. I was ironically in New Jersey in the family. You should have visited me, even though I didn't know you back then. And in 1991, I was 3 years old, so I was a toddler. There wasn't much to do back then.
Yeah.
The
100%.
statue's 6 feet, by the way.
100%. All right. Actually, you know what? Magoo's Christmas Carol done. I haven't seen that before. That's one. That's one I'll watch. All right. I'll watch that one and report back. You watch Charlie Brown's Christmas. I'll watch Magoo's Christmas Carol. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Honestly, if I have time, I might even watch Magoo's as well.
Why not? We'll have a chat about them. All right, guys. It's been fun, and yeah. Just keep an eye out on the YouTube page. I'll create another event just like this time round, and I reckon, Manny, we got to end with a "so long, folks." That whole like you used to.
Let's see
With Manny.
if I still have falsetto left from all the singing I was doing today. So, so long, folks. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's
Oh,
not bad.
oh gosh.
Oh, gee willikers.
Gee willikers. All right, bye everyone.